Tasmai Shri Gurudeva Namaha. Tam Karoti Vacha Vangam Vengayate Yakripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Vinatarana Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Iswaram. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 7, Knowledge of the Absolute. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Jaya Shukdamana Vata Yogam Yunjan Marashraya Samsayam Samadramam Yatat Jinnashyasvi Tatstrinu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with man attached to me, you can know me in full, free from all doubts. Ganam teham savijnanam idam vakshami asesata yajgantva neha uyam yaj gantvayam avasishyate. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and luminous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Manushanam sahasresu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschimam deti tatvata. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, only one knows me in truth. Umira po nalovayu kamano buddhi evacha ahankara ityame vina prakritiya astada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 comprise my separated material energies. Apareyam itastvanyam prakrityam vidime param jivabhutam mahabaho yayedam daryate jagat. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Etad yonini bhutani sarvanityu padarya aham krishnasya jagata prabhava pralyastata. All created beings have their source in these 2 natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and dissolution. Tatta padataram nanyat kimchidasti dhananjaya mayi swabhamidam proktam sutre mani ganaeva. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Rasoham apsukanteya prabhasmi sasi suryoha pranava sobhavedesu sabdake parusham nisu. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, and I am the sound in ether, and the ability in man. Punyo ganda pritvibyam chad tejas chasmi pibavaso jivanam sarvabhutesu tapas chasmi tapasvinu. Oh no, tapasvisu. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat and fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of the ascetics. Bijamam sarvabhutanam vidi pata sanatanam Pratimatam Asmi Tejas Tejas Dinamaham. O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. Balam balamitam chaham kamaraga vibhajitam dharma viruda bhutesu kamosmi bharatashava. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am conjugal love, which is not contradictory to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas, Arjuna. Ye chaiva sattvika bhava rajasas tamasas chaye mate evati tanvidi natvaham te sute mayi. Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. Tribir guna maye babe ebi savam idam jagat mohitam nabijanati mamedya paramavyayam. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Daivi esha gunamayi mamamaya duratyaya mamevaye prapajante mayametam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Namam duskartino huda prapajante naradama mayaya pahita jnana asuram bhavamasrita. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are the lowest, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana suprino arjuna atto jigyansur attarti gyanicha bharatashava. O best among the parts, 4 kinds of pious men began to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Tesam jani nitya yukta ekka bhaktir visishyate priyo hi jnanino jnaninatyatam hum sacha mama priyaha. Of these, the one who is in full knowledge, who is always engaged in pure devotional service, is best. For I am very dear to him, and he is very dear to me. Urara sarva evaite gani twat vaiva me matam askita sahi yuktatma mameva nutamam gatim. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental, loving service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. Bahunam jamanamante ganavamam prabhajate Vasudeva savamiti samahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he was actually in knowledge, surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Kamais kais ter hita jnana papajantinya devataha tam tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyata swaya. Those whose intelligence have been stolen by material desires surrender unto the devas and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. Yo yo yam yam tanam bhatta swarayat chitam ichchati tasha tasha chalam shradam tameva vidadadamyaham. I am in everyone's heart is the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some deity, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Sataya sarya yuktas tasharadhanam ihate labate chatata karman mayaiva vihitan hitan. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtain his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Antavatu palam tesam tambabati alpamadasam devan deva yajoyanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. But those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods. But my devotees ultimately reach my supreme abode. Abhyaktam vyaktim apanam manyante mamabhudiyaha parambhabam ajananto mamabhyayam anuttamam. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. Naham prakasa sarvasya yogamaya samavrita mudoyam nabijanati loko mama jamabhyagam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. Vedaham samatittani Vartamanani charjuna Padeshani chabhutani Mam tu Veda nakaschana. Oh Arjuna, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. Ichchadvesha samutena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. O Skarna Bhart, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities, arisen from desire and hate. Yesham twanta gatam papam gananam punya komanam te dvandva mohanira mukta bhajante mam dritavrataha. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Jaramara Jaramarana Mokshaya Mama Sritya Yatantiye Te Brahma Tadvadu Krishnam Ajatmam Karma Chakilam. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Last verse, verse number 30. Saribhuta didaivamam sarijagnam chate vidu paryanad kale pichamam te vidur yukta chetasaha. Those who are those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, is the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods in all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the hour of death. To honor Srila Prabhupada, I'll read the first paragraph to his purport. Persons acting in Krishna consciousness are never deviated from the path of entirely understanding the Supreme Personality of God. In the transcendental association of Krishna consciousness, one can understand how the Supreme Lord is the governing principle of the material manifestation and even the demigods. Gradually, by such transcendental association, one becomes convinced of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and at the time of death, such a Krishna-conscious person can never forget Krishna. Naturally, he is thus promoted to the planet of the Supreme Lord, Goloka Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada Ki. So there's a story in the Gita Mahatmya sung by Lord Shiva to Mother Parvati. And there's a story for each chapter. Sometimes Krishna or Vishnu is speaking to Lakshmi. So I'm going to read the story that goes along with the 7th chapter, and you can hear devotees who have lived here a long time, they've heard me do this several times, so this isn't new to them, but you'll hear about the potency of why we chant the 7th chapter, especially for this ceremony. Lord Shiva said, my dear Parvati, hear now the divine glories of the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Sankukarna was a so-called Brahmin who lived in a large town called Pataliputra. Like an atheist, he performed no devotional service to Lord Krishna and neglected the religious ceremonies that would release his departed forefathers from whatever sinful conditions of life they may have been in. Sankukarna's main concern was to amass huge amounts of wealth by performance of business activities. In this endeavor, he was so successful that even great kings would come as guests to his luxurious house and dine there. In spite of his vast fortune, greed made Sankukarna into the worst of mazas. So much so that he uselessly hoarded his riches deep under the ground in a secret place, the whereabouts of which only he knew. Even in his family life, Sankukarna was never satisfied. For although he had children from 3 wives, he planned to marry yet again. He traveled with his relatives to another town to marry his 4th wife and stopped overnight on the way. While he was sleeping, a venomous serpent gave him a fatal bite. His sons and relatives tried to revive him with medicines and mantras, but everything failed. In his next life, Sankukarna became a pretasura, a snake person. And because he could remember his last life, he went directly to the place where his wealth was hoarded. This, of course, was quite close to where his previous family was living. He was content for some time to simply guard his hoard but soon became frustrated with his life as a Preta. So he appeared in the dreams of his sons and asked them for help. He said to each of them, I am your dead father, and I am now living as a Preta, guarding a great amount of treasure that I want to share between you. He then told them where it was. In the morning the sons woke and told each other of their dreams. One son, Shiva, suspected these were more than just dreams, which coincided with each other. Shiva, like his father, was also greedy for money. So he took a spade and hastily went to the place described in the dream and started digging, even though a large snake hole was there. The Preta happened to be sleeping at that time and awoke startled. The Preta came out of the ground, hissing loudly, and began to sway back and forth in a threatening way. How dare you disturb me, you fool? Who are you? And what is your purpose? Who has sent you? Answer me now. Shiva, understanding the situation, immediately replied, I am your son, Shiva. The Preta was pleased with the reply and laughed. Yes, but you have forgotten something. If you are truly my son, why are you not performing the necessary rituals to free me from this snake form? It is due to greed only that I am cursed like this. Do you want to meet the same fate as myself? Responding to this challenge, the ignorant son humbly asked his father, what exactly should I do? My dear son, replied the Preta, no type of charity, penance, or sacrifice will bring me complete happiness or total freedom. Only by the recitation of the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita can I be saved from the wheel of birth and death. Therefore, kindly seek out a pure Brahmana who knows this chapter, and at the time of performing the shred ceremony, feed him nicely. These shred rituals can remove my sins, but the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita can open the door of Vaikuntha. Therefore, kindly do this for me. Desiring to please their father, Shiva and his brothers performed the shred ritual, while a qualified Brahmana chanted the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. By the power of those verses, Sankukarna became free from the snake ghost body and received the spiritual four-armed form, Sarupya Mukti. He then blessed his sons and ascended to the spiritual world. The blessed sons developed devotion to Lord Krishna by using their wealth to construct temples, distribute food, and dig wells. They daily recited the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita and finally attained the same destination as their father. Lord Shiva concluded, my dear Parvati, anyone who hears this narration will certainly be free from all sinful reactions. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So that's why we recite the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita for this shred ceremony. We may need it, we may not need it. Or, everybody needs something. Even the great king, Nriga, he was so pious that when he left this world, Yamaraj told him, you are so pious and you have so many pious reactions that there's no telling when they'll come to their limit. However, there's one fault. Once you accidentally gave away the same cow in charity to 2 Brahmins. and he could not satisfy them, and they each went away angry. So you'll have to suffer some ill karma for that. Would you like to enjoy your unlimited pious activities first, or the ill karma first? So King Riga said, let me take the ill karma first. Then I'll be able to enjoy without the thought of this ill karma catching up with me someday. And immediately took birth as a lizard in a dried well that he could not crawl out of. So he was very fortunate, though, because of the great amount of his pious activities. That well happened to be in the kingdom of the Yadus. And the sons of Lord Krishna were playing ball one day, and the ball went into the well. And when they went to retrieve it, they saw the lizard. So Krishna happened along and saw what was going on, and he went to the well, and the sons, were all enthusiastic. And Krishna reached his arm down and took the lizard out. And when he touched the lizard assumed a divine form. And King Riga then offered many prayers to Krishna, saying, I have been in this well a long time, and it gave me the chance to think that what is the use of so much fruitive activity when even one little flaw can cause so many problems. So therefore, I see nothing is more important than your devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vachanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Like Hanuman, so many of them, King Ambarish, the Pandus, so many of them, Sukadeva Goswami, Narada Muni, King Parikshit, Maharaj Prithu. They are all great examples of devotional service. So if we can follow in the footsteps of these glorified Vaishnavas, devotees of Vishnu, then we can also perform some pure devotional service just by hearing. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya placed the emphasis on this hearing process. If we simply hear about Krishna through the parampara, or through the disciplic succession coming from Krishna himself, that way we won't get any misleading rasa or mood, but we'll get everything in pure devotion for Krishna. So just this hearing process can actually free us from all of our difficulties and help us to become devoted to Krishna's lotus feet. And that's what the Hare Krishna movement is all about. We take this Sankirtan Yoga, this sacrifice of Sankirtan, congregationally hearing and chanting about Krishna. We take it around the world. It came around the world, went around the world. It's still going around the world. Things are growing because, after all, the world needs a lot of help. People are fighting, despite their religions. They fight with one another. There's war after war, and there's so many problems. We don't have to go into all of that. But just by the glorification of God's holy names and activities, pastimes, attributes, just talk about his devotees. All of this will purify, drive away all of the ill karma in the world and make the world into a place of goodness again. That is the era of Lord Chaitanya's movement. Krishna himself, after leaving this world, after speaking, not right after speaking Bhagavad Gita, actually after he spoke the Bhagavad Gita, he spoke to Uddhava Gita. So after speaking to Uddhava, he left this world. And the age of Kali, the age of darkness, descended. And that will eventually blossom into complete darkness. But in this age, there's this little radiant light that appears, because Krishna incarnates as Mahaprabhu, and he takes the form of a devotee, He acts as a devotee, and he shows everybody how to surrender to God, how to surrender to Krishna. And what does he do? He eventually has to give up his Brahminical life. He's a great scholar, the greatest of scholars. No one can argue with him because after all, he's Krishna. Krishna, no one could fight with him. Mahaprabhu, no one could argue with him because of the prowess of his logic and argument, the ability of his the power of debate. As a boy of 16, scholars who were elderly with hundreds and hundreds of students would be afraid to come across him in the street because they would be ashamed to not be able to compete with him. He was so erudite, learned. But yet at the same time, because he's Krishna, he was also so beautiful. And everybody always went away with a good heart. Despite, Lord Chaitanya saying, you're a little bit tired. Come back tomorrow and we can discuss some more. But, so they weren't, even though embarrassed, they were always intrigued because to speak to him was to become enamored by his beauty. Just the way he tied his dhoti, the way he put on tilak, his curly hair, his facial features. There was no flaw. He's the personality of Godhead, so everything is perfect. So Lord Chaitanya took that form as a Brahmin, but he had to give up his life of scholarship for the good of the world. He had to teach the world something that the world could comprehend, because everyone cannot be a scholar or even become a pure devotee of the Lord through scholastic studies. But everyone can become a pure devotee of the Lord through devotion or bhakti. So Lord Chaitanya became the epitome of bhakti. In fact, at that time, the devotees in Navadvip, they were also embarrassed to meet Mahaprabhu. And sometimes they would chastise him. They would say, why are you wasting your life in scholarship? You should be serving Radha and Krishna and do something that would ultimately benefit yourself and family. And Mahaprabhu would say something like, don't worry, one day I will become a devotee and then you'll be very pleased. I'll show you what kind of devotee I will become. Of course, they all, worship their deity. They were all Brahmins. But they would speak like this. Because after all, Mahaprabhu was mainly concerned about scholarship and not devotion. So after his father disappeared from the world, he met his Guru Maharaj. Mother Haridwani left, but who else can remember his name?
Ishwarpuri.
Ishwarpuri. And he became intrigued with bhakti, to the extent that that's all he knew. Even his students couldn't understand him teaching Sanskrit grammar anymore, because everything referred to Krishna. But eventually they caught on. And when he told them, because he would fall into trances, and he would speak and speak and speak, and then when he'd come out of trance, he said, what have I spoken? And so initially they would say, we didn't understand a thing. All you keep doing is referring to God or Krishna. And so, but eventually they caught on, and so one day coming out of trance, he said, look, no longer can you be my students. You have my permission to go anywhere else, because I can't help but remember Govinda. And, therefore, how can I teach you when I am completely absorbed in samadhi? I don't delve into these worldly things anymore. So the students said, no, after you being our master, we can never take another master. And then he began to teach them Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya began to teach Sankirtan all over the world, all over the subcontinent of India. He took sannyas, which broke the heart of his devotees. It broke the heart of his mother. His father had already passed on. His brother had taken sannyas and left. Mother was left alone with just her cohorts that lived in the Navadvip area. So Mahaprabhu had to do it for the good of the world. But he is God. He could always come back and eat the food she offered anyway. He appealed to her. Mother, you were no one ordinary. You were Devaki previously. You were Krishna Garbha. You were Aditi when I appeared as Vamana. But now you have appeared as Sachi. and these pastimes of mine. Do not worry. This world is temporary. Simply fix your mind on the absolute truth, and everything will be perfect. So Lord Chaitanya, he did this for the good of the world, and he showed an example, and he taught people. We think, TV evangelists are very potent. They're on TV and they're just hoping people will get their message and, be devoted. It's usually in a sectarian sense, but, they have this sort of religiosity. But Mahaprabhu was so potent, just walking down the street, people would start crying. Just seeing him, people would cry and become devotees of Krishna. Even the Mohammedans. That was, that's the potency of God when he wants to become, a Brahmin who's going to give Krishna Bhakti to everyone. That was his potency. And the proof of the whole matter is very practical. 500 years later, just one of his devotees comes to New York City and initiates an international movement of Krishna Bhakti that spreads all over the world and is continuing to spread. And the only motive, there is no sectarian motive. The motive is we simply want people to be devoted to God, and by doing so, everything will be auspicious. Doesn't matter what religion or culture, doesn't matter what language, all these things are secondary. What matters is devotion to God. And that's the important thing. And that's what our movement is interested in. So everyone can benefit. We thank Mahan Prabhu for engaging us. He certainly could have went elsewhere, to perform these Hindu rituals. But he, of course, he is, I think, he also from Calcutta. He's from Prabhupada's hometown. So ISKCON is a lot bigger than what it is here in America. Prabhupada came to America first and went back to India and brought his Krishna consciousness movement. But India was like a sleeping giant, and so now, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is spread all over India with, huge temples and all these big pilgrimage spots in big cities, and, and have so many Pukka Brahmins and, so many things going on there. But, here in the Western world, Prabhupada's concern was the Western public. And, that's also our concern, to help the other people, Indian people, they know about Krishna, and they can find that at home. And, they certainly are our best friends and greatest supporters. But, we're concerned also about whatever country we're in, we're concerned about those people. We want to help them, whether it be Italy or South Africa or Nigeria or Germany, Australia, Russia, whatever it be. And we work and we act, according to the laws that are there. We don't try to, don't try to say, that our organization doesn't have to follow the rules of the government. We have to cooperate with the government, and our only motive is not making a bunch of money or becoming, gaining some monopoly on in the religious field. There, our concern is just to help as many people who have an interest in, what we have to offer, and that way we're finding some, little success around the world. However, according to the prophecy, it is meant to bring this age of enlightenment, meant to make the world a better place. So therefore, on that note of simply the world becoming a better place without so much of the gloom that we can read in the news every day and worry about what will happen to our world, we are convinced that simply by this one little sacrifice of chanting God's name, whether it be gospel singing or Eastern Orthodox chanting, or, Muslims standing there, chanting the Koran, that just by pure glorification of God, seeing everyone as a child of God, and not being blinded by nationalistic and, racism or ethnicism, or, religious intolerance. That everyone is actually a child of God. And just by chanting God's names in that pure spirit, our world can be a better place, and no longer will we have to be afraid to move amongst one another. So that's our great hope. We ask you for your help. If you just chant Hare Krishna out loud or privately or in your own mind, that's sufficient. But anything anyone can do is wonderful. We're not asking anyone to change their religion or shave their head or do any of those things. Just asking people to try to understand that there is a supreme person, a supreme Lord. He's the supreme Lord of all religions, just like the sun is the sun. The same sun in the sky is the same sun for the Japanese as it is for the Europeans and everyone else. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.